Alright, it's turn 67 with Pangaea. You might notice I've already done my turn, and the reason is that I'd actually done my turn before, but I accidentally put an item that's cursed on one of my commanders that I didn't want to, and I had to redo the whole turn. So I redid the whole turn, and then so I'll just give a summary of what happened instead of what I normally do. So my site searching this turn was decent, not amazing. Got a couple good sites. Nothing amazing. Lemuria cost global. He cost strands of arcane power, which I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's an amazing spell. And my army on Katis got pretty badly messed up, so he cast Murdering Winter on the army to soften it up. And I'll show you the battle after this. I got Belial, which is pretty good. It's probably after Pazuzu. Actually, no, Pazuzu and Asmodeus are the ones that I want the most. But Belial is not bad either. He's got good item slots, and I've told him to build a blood booster so he can cast 3 red seconds on a couple provinces. My main, my capital at the moment has 2 spare holy points that I can't spend on centaurs because I'm running out of recruitment points. So I think it's a good time to destroy the fort in my capital. But before I do that, I need to make sure that I have enough blood slaves to cast Demon Lord again in the same turn and make another Bloodthorn. In terms of items, I have so what's happening? So I broke the fort here, but rather than storming the fort with this army, actually let's go through the battles and I'll show you what happened. So my army here got attacked by a huge communion of astral mages, and he cast a bunch of pretty decent battle spells, but the real kind of meat on the bone in this army was the enormous amount of enslaved mind casters. So he got a couple guys to into a communion. We'll check how many communion mages he put after this, and then he just had everybody spamming enslaved mind. And if you look at my army, I basically just got centaurs. Their magic resistance is pretty good, but it's not good enough to fight 30 guys that are casting enslaved mind constantly. Yeah, and I probably was being a bit too ambitious with this army. I ended up losing a lot of these mages that were, yeah, we'll see. So we start the battle. He does a volley of spells, of offensive spells. Like this looks like Shadow Blast, and I do Cleansing Water because I saw he had ghosts. So I want to kill these ghosts straight away, so they don't, because they've got armor piercing magical attacks. So I want to get rid of them straight away. So keep watching. You see, he has guys casting. Well, my guys are already injured from the Murdering Winter, and that he cast just before, and So you see some of them are, you know, lost arms, or, you know, they're already at half health or something. And you see he's just going hard on spamming Enslaved Mind, and he has 34 communion slaves, so his guys are getting magic boost 5. It's a huge amount. So each one of these guys, I'm surprised he hasn't cast Light of the Northern Star. I think that's a mistake. He could have given himself an extra one astral to all of these guys. But the advantage of having so many communion slaves is, of course, let's find some of these. Yeah, is that they're we just keep an eye on this one. So every time they cast Enslaved Mind, it barely makes a dent in their fatigue of the communion slaves. So you cast it like 10 times already, and yeah, I think every cast only adds like 1 fatigue to the mages. And I can't really tell who, because my guys are buffed when he steals them. I think they keep the buffs. So this guy looks like he's fighting my own. He's facing the wrong direction, so I guess he's controlled by... I can't tell which ones are controlled by my enemy. But yeah, a lot of my guys are having a really hard time. There's a bit of Skelly spam. Skelly spam's not amazing, but you see, I only brought 1 battle mage to this army. Well, 2. 3, okay. I brought 1 water mage to cast protection from cold on everybody. There's the Archdevil and the Pan. And the Archdevil jumps in to attack these guys, but he doesn't really have a lot of magic resist gear. And he doesn't have Phoenix Pyre. So he ends up actually... You'll see it. So battle's been going for a while, and his mages are still not, his slaves are still not at 200 fatigue. His masters have cold resistance, and see some slaves are not even at 200 fatigue yet. I'm surprised their encumbrance is so low, given they're fighting in cold, but I guess that's because of this cold resistance. So now, only now they've just started chipping damage. But of course they regenerate as well. So they cause darkness. And I mean, by this point, most of my guys have run away. So he's basically punished me for not having a proper army and just having a bunch of centaurs. Although that said, if I did have a large army here, then he would have just killed them with Murdering Winter. I think he's spent a huge amount of resources on this fight, and I doubt he can keep doing that. So I don't think this is a sustainable strategy. But that said, someone could be giving him gems, and it's quite likely, so I can't, rely on just attritioning him to death. So overall, it was pretty bad for me. You can see I lost about 2 turns, maybe 2.5 turns of white centaurs. I lost a Pan that had a cornucopia, and I lost 16 centaurs. All of them had items, so if they have about 10 gems worth of items each, this is probably about like over 100 gems worth of damage, plus the Archdevil, which is my biggest fire mage, not including my Pretender. And losing the Archdevil was probably the most annoying thing because I can't really replace him. All this other stuff is replaceable, but the Archdevil is not. And the other fights were pretty anticlimactic. He attacked my army in the caves here, and I mean, I'm not really sure what he was trying to do, but this looks like a gem burn attempt, but you can't really gem burn this army that well because most of my guys are using temporary gem items. Or he was just potentially scouting my army and seeing what I'm doing. Hell, natural rain, hell, twilight. Okay. We had a little fight over here where I attacked. I know someone asked not to show the reports before the battles, but you know, these are not strategically important fights. So he's got a little province defense dump here, and there's Gnome, which I'm not exactly sure what he was supposed to do. And Mage with some items that he stole from me. I think he just threw away. Basically just threw away some items and province defense here. He took back this province from me after trying to kind of stall and hope that I run into him. So if I could catch this army with a couple of centaurs, that would be great, because I mean, he's got Hellcaster here, but I'm sure that I can probably, with enough centaurs, I could probably destroy this army. And see, he's equipping the items that he took from my centaurs on his own Sobek generals. Right, so Blood Vortex is taking people away. I got attacked by werewolves here in my pan, who was scripted to cast Life for Life. Kills 2 of the werewolves with Life for Life, but ultimately, you know, werewolves are pretty damn strong. They regenerate, they got lots of attacks, they have high protection. So you cast the Life for Life again, kills another one, but there's still 3 werewolves and they kill the pan. The other notable thing that happened this turn is there's a huge amount of these disease is spreading events, and this is obviously caused by a player, although I'm not exactly sure exactly what is causing this. I don't think it's blood venom charms, because those take 5% of your population away. But either way, I've basically swapped my recruitment in pretty much everywhere to mass produce, not everywhere, but in many places, to mass produce harpies. So I'm gonna be spamming harpies absolutely everywhere to try and catch any blood venom charm guys. The other thing, I haven't finished scripting. Alright, so sorry, three things left. I still have a lot of my centaurs left from that army that he destroyed, and I need to basically figure out how to get them out of here. And I think one thing I could do is province defense dump in this province and send everybody there, and then he probably, I'm not sure, I don't think he'll expect a big force to be here, but at the same time these are pretty pathetic units here. So I could also, I think that the best thing for me to do is, oh actually no, I don't really want to retreat. I'll just keep, I send these guys into this province, and when he moves back here I'm going to attack this province again with these guys, and I'm just going to keep all my centaurs here running around being as annoying as possible and just pinning him down, reducing his gold income, reducing his recruitment, and reducing his gem income. Over here I have a lot of centaurs moving into this province, so since his army can only move one square per tile, and the Archdevil is not going to be a commander this turn, he's going to be a unit. He has to cost Gift of Reason on him, so he doesn't really have a huge army here. So I've decided that it's a good opportunity to attack, and I've sent a bunch of forces here to attack him. I might change my mind because he could cost well, I guess if he does Group of Winter, I guess there's no cold scales in this province, so it's unlikely that he's gonna have a proper army here. But this whole army here, I've knocked down this fort, but I'm not gonna storm it with the army. Instead, what I'm gonna do is storm it with 2 pans that are just gonna earthquake the guys inside. A double earthquake should pretty much kill everything, and then they're just gonna run away. So it's very cheesy, very frustrating for him if it works out. Right, and my other army here, I need to shuffle their scripts around. So this guy casting Hell Relief. This guy is guaranteed only 2 gems, so we're just gonna do Serpent's Blessing with him. Hell Relief. This guy's always gonna do a Rush of Strength. This guy just gonna do Legions of Steel, and that's it. And this guy will just do well, he only has 2 gems. Let's keep moving and see what else we have. Alright, so I've got my one guy casting Quickening, and one guy here casting Army Regeneration, and that's all he does. I think that we also want Growing Fury. Doesn't have enough gems to cast it apparently. Alright, whatever. We'll just do army regen with this guy. And reinvigoration. So I have frost fend. Oh, I need a guy casting relief. So this guy's casting howl and relief. I guess we don't really need howl. Oh no, we do. Howl is a 3-gem spell. It's not really. I guess we'll just do mass. No, got a guy doing that. All right, we'll just do howl and growing fury. All right, howl, growing fury, serpent's blessing, rush of strength, serpent's blessing. I always forget if I have a guy. What? Hell Fury, Serpent's Blessing. Alright, that means that this guy is going to do relief instead. Relief, Frost Fend, and the one guy doing army regeneration. Once I get a couple more earth mages here. Alright, I don't have anybody here casting. I guess this guy will just cast relief. And probably the most valuable other spell would be army regeneration. And this should be Strength of Gaia, power. Okay, so I have all these centaurs here. I'm gonna spread them out. So okay, so these guys we're gonna do resist lightning, iron skin, temper flesh, and attack. Actually, no, do them in a slightly different order. So this will be on control group 2. This guy is just going to be a spellcaster. Alright, and okay, these guys should have enough blessing to cover all these centaurs. So I guess it's a bit risky to attack this province, to be honest, without proper mage support at this point in the game. So I'm sending more harpies with those crowns, and I need to make more of these crowns because they're just too useful. I have more pans here that are, yeah, these two that are moving over here. So these ones are going to be casting various nature buffs. And yeah, I should be able to knock this fort in one turn. And I should have all the buffs here that I need. but there's no real critical earth buffs. And I'm thinking maybe I don't want to attack this province. Maybe I should just sneak through it. But the risk is that he's patrolling it, and my guys that are sneaking through get caught. So I'm just gonna send everybody over here actually. The other thing I can do, of course, is just send my main army over here. That would probably be, well, if I did that, then his whole stack of mages here will be in this province next turn. And then when I want to storm this fort, he'll potentially be able to attack me from everywhere and use all his armies. Use all his forces to attack. Whereas if I attack this fort, this army is going to potentially move over here, and then the only place where they can go afterwards is here. But it doesn't really look from the scouting like he has a lot of mages in this province. So I think it's probably safe for me to take a little bit of a risk and what's happening? So I was gonna pause my art pen is messing up the mouse. Well, apparently my mouse is it's not a wire mouse. Sorry, it's a wire mouse, and it's decided that it's time for it to die. So whatever. All right, I think I will actually concentrate, send a big army here. And I'm hoping that it's not going to be a bad decision. I guess I could also send my pretender here and cast mass flight on the army, but then he won't, he won't be here where I need him. The other thing is I've scripted my pretender to cast, well, I thought I did, to cast mass flight immediately. So that will, if he's got a big stack of mages, then that's gonna get my guys on his, in his face straight away. So I'm hoping that this kind of raid and force army here doesn't get picked off by some bullshit. And there's not really, I guess what I can do is send a guy with some water gems to, or maybe two guys, with water gems to cast some cold resistance stuff just in case. So we want to do cast Winter Ward basically. Alright, so just cast Winter Ward twice, and it's not going to hit every unit, but it'll hit most of them. And we'll have Relief and Army Regeneration. And this should be enough to defeat what's here, unless of course he sends another bazillion mages, but I don't think he can. I guess the mages here could get out and move into this province. Can I check if these guys can? Alright, so I've got two mages here, so these can actually move into that province. And I guess since they're going, I may as well give them all these main ads. Alright, well, since I'm doing that, that means I can cast more spells. So we can also now protect against other stuff. I should be able to cast Serpent's Blessing and Howl at the same time. I'm not sure why it's saying that I can't, because this thing gives you 5. Yeah. So this is 3, and Serpent's Blessing's 2. But it still says it's not enough, which is strange. So do Growing Fury instead. This guy will be Howl Fury. And this guy will cast and Serpent's Blessing. Serpent's Blessing, and then we'll do Army of Giants in that priority. Them both a couple blood slaves, and finish off with reinvigoration, conservative magic use. Right, and they can go and help this army. There's no other useful stuff I can give them. Right, well, if I'm gonna attack hard, then I may as well go hard. So I'm gonna grab all these water mages, give them rings, and basically I'm just gonna equip a bunch of guys here and send them and grab all the main ads and attack that cave province. So I'm gonna pause while I do that. Right, so I got a bunch more stuff being sent here. So now the army, the overall army in here is now quite big, which means that I'm gonna move everybody onto the side here. It's quite a little time-consuming, annoying stuff. And have everybody, these guys attacking rear instead. Let's do Blessing, and then I guess I don't really care what he does, we'll just say fire. Right, so we got Relief Army Regen. Relief Regen. Right, these guys are going to be doing, this guy's going to be doing spells and gate cleavering. Winter Ward. These guys are going to be doing spells. I'm going to script them a bit better. Script, and then they're going to do Ice Strike. Hard to tell which one's going to be better against undead. I guess we'll just stick with Ice Strike, because it works just fine as well. So give a whole bunch of these guys the command to cast Ice Strike, and all these guys are going to be told to attack the rear, because my opponent loves skelly spamming and having all these annoying mages. I should have, where are these guys going? Oh, they actually have to go into... They can't go into this province straight away. Right, they can only make it here. Okay, well, that's not great. Oh, I see. They need to make it into this province first. Well, that's annoying. Oh well. I guess that it is what it is. As long as the most important one here, yeah, relief and winter ward. And I guess instead of army regeneration, I should be casting Serpent's Blessing, because foul vapors is a big threat. Cool. Well, I think that's the turn. So we're just gonna recap a bit. Basically sending a bunch of guys here to you know, hurt this fort, to kill the guys inside and then run away. This mage is basically just I guess he can storm it with these centaurs afterwards, but it's mostly just reinforcements coming along. My main army is going to move into this province, and I'm going to try to destroy it. I expect him to try to break out of this fort, but I don't really have anybody there. And this army is going to focus on taking this province from him. And then I'm going to attack this province here straight afterwards. So it says he's upgrading this fort. Well, I didn't know Machaka could upgrade forts, but if he wants to upgrade it, that's fine. I don't think it'll make any difference at all. Alright, so that's the turn.